صل على محمد وآل محمد. Before I start, I would just like to thank the organizers very much for allowing me to read in these few nights, and the Salam Foundation for allowing me to read in their majlis. I can truly say that there is nothing a man could want more than to read for Imam Hussein alayhi salam in these 10 nights of Muharram. And I thank Allah for His blessings. Salli ala Muhammad. Allah in His mercy had set a condition. Allah in His mercy had set a condition. Allah then gave this as a trust to Jibreel. Jibreel had then brought down this revelation. Jibreel left it in the hands of Muhammad. Muhammad, he tried to teach it to his nation. Muhammad, he tried to teach it to his nation. Muhammad then asked to guard over it. Ali proved necessity of its function. Ali proved necessity of its function. Ali left it written on his shroud for Hassan. Hassan, for guarding this, faced hatred and friction. Hassan left it lodged in his coffin for Hussein. Hassan left it lodged in his coffin for Hussein. Hussein, for this trust, inspired revolution. Hussein, for this trust, inspired revolution. Hussein wrote it in his blood. Left to speak it Sajjad. Sajjad showed it could be used for prayer's ascension. Sajjad transformed it into knowledge for Baqir. Baqir proved by teaching it you could bring about action. Baqir built its very foundation for Sadiq. Sadiq reshaped the world just with its reflection. Sadiq reflected it onto the mind of Kadhim. Kadhim spread it far and wide, even under detention. Kadhim in prison managed to give it to Radha. Kadhim imprisoned managed to give it to Radha, and Radha when on him was all mind and attention. Radha when on him was all mind and attention. He was asked to give them something of salvation. Then he gave them that trust, a golden narration. He then gave them that trust, a golden narration, saying, give it to me from Kabul. Reflected to Kabul from Sadiq. Built for Sadiq by Baqir. Given as knowledge to Baqir from Sajjad. Sajjad spoke it from the blood of Hussein. Hussein removed it from the coffin of Hassan. Hassan took it from the shroud of Ali. Ali was told it to guard it by Muhammad. Muhammad was given it by Jibreel. Jibreel sent a trust from Allah that he who believes in God and Muhammad is saved if you accept the conditions of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى أرواح التي هلت بثنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. I wasn't going to say this originally because I don't like to repeat myself, but in Salam Foundation, a few people asked me why I was wearing white. What I'd say is, people who wear white, it's a symbol. It's a symbol that tomorrow, the day of Ashura, is not just a day where you come to the majlis, you cry, you go home and don't benefit at all. It's not even just a day where you go to the mosque and you learn something. The day of Ashura is a day where you say, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum ya Abdullah. I wish I was with you so that I could die for you. This white pistachia represents the shroud that I shall be buried in. This white pistachia tells Imam Hussein that I wish I was there on that day. I wish I was there to kiss the forehead of Qasim ibn Hassan and tell him, may my soul be sacrificed for you. To kiss the shoulders of Ali al-Akbar and tell him, I wish I could die before you. To kiss the hands of Awfullah Abbas and tell him, I wish my hands were severed instead of yours. To kiss the neck of Abdullah Rabi Ali Asghar. To kiss the neck of Abdullah Rabi Ali Asghar. A lot of us who come to this majalis have hardships on our shoulders, that's why we come. We have hardships, we have problems, and we want Imam Hussein and the elevator to help us. This poem is for every person who's sitting in this majlis, who has a hardship, who has a mushkila, who has a hajat, and a desire to be besieged. In this poem I say, for Imam Ali alayhi salam, I say, oh Ali, Oh Ali, when we call out for your guidance, is your answer your silence? Oh Ali, when we call out for your guidance, is your answer your silence? When the world makes us cry, Ali, is your answer your silence? Ali, O moon that reflects truth. Ali, O moon that reflects truth. We circle this moon, a cloud pinned to you as written with our birth and on our shroud, with each new wound written for us. Our pride pushes on as proud, and when a voice cries out your name, it cries with no shame aloud. Ali, O moon that reflects truth, we circle this moon, a cloud pinned to you as written with our birth and on our shroud, with each new wound written for us. Our pride pushes on as proud, and when a voice cries out your name, Ali, it cries with no name, it cries with no shame aloud. Breathe in mind and in conscience, breathe in mind and in conscience the shadow of your absence. When our allegiance we announce, is your answer your silence? O saint encompassed in a shrine of which men long for and dream. O saint encompassed in a shrine of which men long for and dream, your name sits with us a symbol, and it flows in the bloodstream. If your name screamed in agony, what reply would you so deem? For you are the last stop of hope, when all hope's lost it would seem. With every step of patience, long is your hand and presence, and when the heart calls out for you, is your answer your silence? Whilst intellect tries to reason, weighed upon it is hardship. Whilst intellect tries to reason, weighed upon it is hardship. When knowledge builds a patient heart, this world's weight loosens its grip. So when this same heart distraught screams, when this same heart distraught screams for its only true friendship, would you answer such a despair, and with peace this heart equip? How many lie in grievance for paying you allegiance? So when they need the Prince of Gold, is your answer your silence? Fed us the milk of our mothers, and with this your love to us came. Fed us the milk of our mothers, and with this your love to us came. Now when left to walk in darkness, what we search for is your name. So when our eye sought out morals, it found your teachings aflame. On this eye drawn was your picture, and a symbol it became. When we searched for brilliance, what we found was your fragrance. When you know your name perfumes us, when you know your name perfumes us, is your answer your silence? We're entranced by you, Ali. We are entranced by you, Ali, and we are named with no other. The unanswered questions all sought, we learnt from Ahmed's brother, and our eloquence we learnt from the husband of our mother. For our women grew our valor, we learnt from valor's father. Our morals are your science, and you become our essence. When we are parts of each other, is your answer your silence? When the world sits on our shoulders, the tongue, oh Ali, it cries. When the world sits on our shoulders, the tongue, Ya Ali, it cries. This cry when from mountains we fall, or above mountains we rise. For the name and cry of Ali, impossible it defies, and it ensures we live forever, whilst all others reach demise. A self-sustaining substance that grows within time's distance. When cried out, when cried is Ali's immortal name, is your answer your silence? Tonight is the last night of 10 nights of mourning for Imam Hussein. Tonight is the farewell to Imam Hussein. I don't want to see anyone sitting there and not crying. Don't be arrogant toward your Imam. This is Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He died for you. He deserves your tears. Open your heart for him. Let your heart speak to Hussein. For in this poem I say, worlds apart, I search for the road from me to you, O Hussein. Worlds apart, I search for the road from me to you, O Hussein. What veils and what worlds exist between myself and Hussein? Can one who the heart has stolen be worlds apart from his servant? Can one who the heart has stolen be worlds apart from his servant? He who wanders the world of love, I stand alone at this world's end. He who wanders the world of love, I stand alone at this world's end. My eye searches for your figure. so to your wounds I can attend, and yet still, worlds apart I stand. Even if worlds your love transcends, I wish when you stood there alone, my hand to you I could extend. I wish when you stood there alone, my hand to you I could extend. Is it fair that I can't soothe you, yet to all of my wounds you tend, O Hussein? Is it fair that I can't soothe you, yet to all of my wounds you tend? I wish when swords upon you pray, that my master I could defend. I stand on the edge of one world, crying out your name, Hussein, and my tears that drip down, reshape to write your name. O Hussein, can he whose love destroys reason be worlds apart from his servants? Is it fair that time can stand still when I'm entranced by your mention? Is it fair that time can stand still? Is it fair that time can stand still when I'm entranced by your mention? Yet it won't go back centuries to days of your tribulation. Is it fair that you come to me in each hopeless situation, but I cannot return to you when left you there a whole nation, and you stood there amongst the dead, in your eyes but death's reflection, drawn in your eye the tears that saw on Hussein the world's desertion. Tell me how the eye that sees this notices me, O Hussein. How does the man that walked with death seek life in me, O Hussein? Can he whose love time strengthen be worlds apart from his servant? Though time draws us further apart, fires in me you've created. O Hussein, though time draws us further apart, fires in me you've created. So when my mind recalls you day, so when my mind recalls your day, I feel your pain on me weighted. I see your day as clear as day. I see your day as clear as day within my eye illustrated. I weep upon my hand, my tears and images they painted. As clear as I can see this hand, as clear as I can see this hand, on it with horrors and greeted, I see fire chase tent to tent. I see fire chase tent to tent, and how your daughters are treated. No, it's not just your eye that saw these tragedies, O Hussein. No, it's not just your eye that saw these tragedies, O Hussein. Millions witness your day, and we beside you, O Hussein. Can he who gives men his vision be worlds apart from his servant? I live in dreams with such deep love. I live in dreams with such deep love. Some dreams, all I see is beauty. Some dreams, all I see is beauty. Others, my heart stops in its tracks, and my eyes, they see calamity. They see the sun on the sky perched. They see the sun on the sky perched as it taunts young tongues so thirsty. They see arrows thirsty for blood, and swords that see death as a bounty. Indeed, I'm taunted by your love, for it can shape the heart as mighty, yet it can tear that same heart apart. Yet it can tear that same heart apart and make me break down a man empty. What love this is! What love that gives the heart joy, yet makes the eye weep for Hussein. And yet both in smiles and cries, all it calls for is Hussein. Can the cause of such emotion be worlds apart from his servant? When veils between worlds are lifted, will you hear me cry out your name? When veils between worlds are lifted, will you hear me cry out your name? Will you search for the voice that calls for its beloved and burning flame? Will you search for the voice that calls for its beloved and burning flame? Will you forget that you're suffering? A voice for this soul it became, so that each time it sought good deeds, your message it longed to inflame. Will you recall those who served you? Oh Hussein, will you recall those who served you? Is that not why to us you came? Oh, who needs servants, please know. Oh, who needs servants, please know that my need for you is just the same. When veils between worlds are lifted, will you hear me cry out your name? Will you search for the voice that calls for its beloved and burning flame? Will you forget that you're suffering? A soul for this voice it became, so that each time it sought good deeds, your message it longed to inflame. Will you recall those who served you? Will you recall those who served you? Is that not why to us you came? Oh, who needs servants, please know. Oh, who needs servants, please know that my need for you is just the same. When we are judged, will you hear the voice that cries out, O Hussein? When we are judged, will you hear the voice that cries out, O Hussein? What is judgment? What is judgment if we are not rescued by you, O Hussein? Can he who holds such a burden be worlds apart from his servant? Can he who holds such a burden be worlds apart from his servant. Wassalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.